Hello and welcome to another video. This Minidisc Lens and Head Cleaner is not working. It's been wiped. So I think I've got everything I need to try and fix it. Right, I seem to be a bit obsessed with Minidisc lens cleaners and head cleaners, and there'll be a link in the description box below to my previous videos about these. And if you wait until the end of the video, the end card gives you some suggestions as to videos you might want to watch, and I'll put the lens cleaning playlist up there. Anyway, in one of those videos, in the most recent video, there's a card for it up there and a link in the description. We found out that this one had been erased. Now, let's give you a quick summary of it. This one cleans Minidisc lenses, Minidisc player lenses only. This one cleans Minidisc lenses and also the recording head. So let me just give you a recap or explain very briefly how that works. On a Minidisc player, you slide the Minidisc in and there is a laser that shines up from underneath the Minidisc and reads the data off of this side of the Minidisc. If you've got a recorder, it makes use of that laser to heat up the disc, and then a magnetic recording head comes down on this side and records the data magnetically. I'm not a physicist, but basically when laser light is reflected off of a surface that has magnetic data on it, the polarization, that's the wave of, I'll do it this way, the wave of the light that is reflected can vary based on whether it's a magnetic field that's positive or negative. And Minidisc player, magneto-optical devices in general, detect which way that laser light polarization is, and that's how it reads the data. It's not the same as the lands and pits of a CD or a DVD. So that garbled explanation leads us on to this tiny little brush here. In the same way that you would clean a CD player, that tiny little brush spins around when this Minidisc is being played and sweeps across the laser to brush any debris off the laser. And then this part here isn't shiny, it's kind of a matte feeling. It feels a bit like Tipex that's been painted onto it. And that rubs against the magnetic record head and cleans it the same way as an old-fashioned cassette head cleaning tape is slightly abrasive and it rubs against the cassette play head to clean that. Okay, so essentially these two do the same job. This one is working, this one isn't. Well, it would be working, but the recordings that have been placed onto this one on the left are missing from this one on the right. And sort of the plan is you play this one in the player and it says your play head has now been cleaned, please stop the player, because the brush has swept, by that time the brush has already swept over the lens, the laser lens. But it also says if you want to clean the right head, then record another track onto this, and in the process of recording it, the record head goes down on the surface and is cleaned off. And what that actually does is it does literally record another track. So you record a few seconds of audio onto this disc, and the action of recording it is cleaning the head as well. But the thing is, the extra track is actually left on the disc. And what I think has happened is someone has used this one, they've cleaned the read head, the laser pickup head, and they've cleaned the record head by recording an extra track on there. They've realised that the thing has now 3 tracks instead of the 2 it came with. They've tried to delete the 3rd track, the one that they used to clean the record head, but ended up deleting the whole thing. So this disc is essentially blank. So what I'm planning to do is use these 2 Minidisc players to play the audio from this and record it directly onto this, because essentially it should be the same audio and the same process for cleaning whichever disc you use. Now this is almost a joke here, but I wasn't going to try and repair this disc. because in order to burn music or burn data to a mini disc, it gets the surface, the recordable surface gets heated up to 180 degrees centigrade, I believe it is. It could be 280, but I'll put it just down there. In order to make the recording of the data onto there work. And I wasn't happy to record onto that surface at 180 degrees Celsius, because that brush is going to be heated up to 180 degrees Celsius. And I put that in the previous video. And Subliminal Vibes commented on that video and said, don't worry, the laser will definitely not melt the brush. It's only focused on an unbelievably small microscopic point, and any part of the brush which gets in the way will be out of focus, and the energy of the wide beam cannot even warm the bristles. Additionally, as soon as the laser detects a place on the disc it cannot write, it stops writing, therefore briefly stops shining the hot beam, and will immediately continue recording along the same track once the brush has passed. It will do this with each rotation. If for any reason the recording fails, it will be because the magnetic field wasn't able to get through the pink layer on top. But I didn't experience this, it worked fine and no brush has melted. Hope this helps, mate. You've got nothing to worry about, keep up the great work, which is very kind, and good day to you. So I wasn't going to record on it because I was a bit worried, but he said that this is a joke, but it's good to get people to watch through the first few seconds of the video. Now let's get rid of that, and I'll show you what I've got to do this job. In any case, I've still kept that handy just in case. Right, so what I've got this, which I'm a bit nervous about using. This is a Minidisc player, and it's got line out on it. It's the only one I can find in my little collection that has got line out. And I've got this really dodgy cable which came from my Bluetooth adapter, which is failing, but I'm not going to buy a new one unless I need a new one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one, which is working, into here. And I'm going to take the line out from here, and I'm going to put it in the line in socket, which is that one there, line in or optical, on this one. And I'm going to record this one in this player. I don't really care about this player. I do like it, but it doesn't do MDL play, it doesn't do long play recording mini discs. And what I'm worried about is, yes, that brush could melt. Subliminal Vibes said it's not going to melt, and I believe him, but he might have made a mistake. The other thing I'm worried about is I'm going to play this one in this one, and it's going to be playing, and all the time it's playing, that little brush in there is bashing against the laser on this one, and I know they can be knocked out of alignment. So what I might do is record the first track from here to here, and then once the second track has started recording, I'm going to stop the playback on here but leave the recording running on here, and that way this one won't be spinning around all the time bashing against that record head, and I'll leave that running for 18 minutes. That's going to be a hell of an exciting watch, isn't it? But don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch it all. So I need to open this up. I've switched them around because it makes total sense to have it recording left to right. So that goes in there. So this is our playback device, and this is our record device. Right, so I've got the working disc with the recording on in this player, and I've got the blank disc with no recordings on it in this recorder. I've got speakers hooked up to here, so when I play this one, it will start recording onto this one, play through the speakers, you'll be able to hear the first track. There's nothing on the tracks after that. So what I'm going to do is going to press play on this one and immediately start the recording on this one. It says it's recording from line in. So hopefully that picked up the start of this track. So I'll let this track play through, it's just about a minute. It says there cleaning is over. You can see the output there, sorry, the output there and the input there.
The cleaning of the pickup lens is complete. If you wish to clean the head, please press the stop button, then press the record button. After 10 seconds, the head cleaning process will be completed. Press the stop button at this time. Remove the cleaning disc and store it in its case.
So I'm going to let this play to the end of the track, and I'm going to press pause on this one. Okay, this one now says, I'll pause this because I don't want to record this at the moment. This one says, please press stop. So the plan is you put it in, you play that first track, and then immediately it wipes the dust off of the lens, off the reading lens, the pickup lens. Then there's an 18-minute track, so it's moved across a little bit on this on the mini disc from the inside towards the outside. Then there's an 18-minute track of nothing, which is what I'm going to record on here now. I'm not going to make you watch the whole thing, but there's an 18-minute blank track, and I think what that is just to separate where the brush is on this disc from where you want to record onto the disc. So essentially, if I could take it out and show you. Let's open it up. Doing this live so you can see that. I'm not going to make you wait the whole 18 minutes though. Okay, so the brush is in here somewhere. There it is, you can see it just there. So the mini disc reads the disc from the inside out. So the first track, you can just, possibly that might be it there, that bit that's a different colour. That's the first track. It's about a minute long, and during that time this brush should sweep over the the playhead of the mini disc player. Then there's an 18-minute blank track recorded on here, which might bring the head out to about there. And then if you wanted to make a recording onto this cleaner, your record head would come down and brush against this surface here and clean the record head. But it'll be far enough away from this brush that it's not going to damage the brush when you're recording at a high temperature. Although subliminal vibes, which is really hard to say, although subliminal vibes says it won't harm it, I believe him, but we'll wait and see. So now I'm going to record this until it's about 18 minutes long, and then we'll have 2 tracks on this, and I'll come back to you when that's finished and we'll test it to see whether it's worked. Right, so it's been chattering away for 17 minutes now. All the while it's recording this onto this Mindisc Cleaner. That record head is rubbing against that slightly rough surface, so you're only supposed to record for 10 seconds when you're cleaning your record head, but this one's been going for 18 minutes now, so that's why I said I was going to use this, because I don't care that much about this player. Nice as it is, it's not my favourite player, and it's perfectly possible that I could have damaged the record head by having it rubbing against that rough surface for so long. So anyway, we'll find out in a minute. So let's get to 18 minutes, and then I'll press the stop button. There we go. Okay, so it's got to the end. I had to edit out the sound there for some privacy reasons. So what I'm going to do now, it says it's got 2 tracks. Now if I've damaged the record head, it won't have recorded the table of contents properly. So I'm going to take it out, put it back in and see whether it says it's got 2 tracks on it. Yes, it does. Excellent, so that was good. I'm going to take this out because this is our line in. I'm going to plug this into the headphones. We're going to have a listen to the first track again to make sure it's still there. Excellent. So let's listen to the instructions again, just in case you didn't pick them up before, and then we'll try to clean the record head again, even though this one's going to be squeaky clean. We'll follow the instructions to see what happens.
The cleaning of the pickup lens is complete. If you wish to clean the head, please press the stop button, then press the record button. After 10 seconds, the head cleaning process will be completed. Press the stop button at this time. Remove the cleaning disc.
Okay, she's not very clear what she's saying. It sounds like she's saying press the start button, but it's actually the stop button, which is what I've done. Now this leads me on to what I think the problem with this disc was. If I record to this now, like she said, record now, what it's actually going to do, with some players, it's going to record at the point where it finished playing. So if we record now, it's going to record perhaps during track 1, I don't know, I haven't tested that, but certainly it might record over the start of track 2. So if someone's got one of those players that records at the point at which you stopped it, rather than at the end of the current tracks, then they would have overwritten some of those tracks, and that might be why it had no tracks at all in it, because they've gone back and tried to erase it. So what you need to do, if you've got one of these, which is a record head cleaner as well, you need to press N search, especially on Sony discs. You press N search, it takes you to the end of the track listing. See, it's at the end of track 2. Now when we record for 10 seconds, we'll end up with track 3 at the end of track 2. Obviously this is a blank recording, we don't need to record anything on this part. In fact, just the effect of recording the table of contents, which is at the beginning, at the inside of the disc, that would have cleaned that record head. So now we've got 3 tracks. I'm going to again take that off of there, take that out of there, so it doesn't know whether it's the same disc or not now. We'll be back to the beginning of track 1, hopefully. It's at the end of track 3, so we'll play track 1. Yep, so we know that's there. Track 2 is our 18-minute track of nothingness. And track 3 is the track we just recorded for 10 seconds. Excuse the bleeps in the background from my various phones. So this should be 10 tracks long. It's having trouble reading this track. Yeah, so it could be the player's not working, or it could be that I've damaged that record head by recording that 18-minute track on it. But it has worked. So thank you, Subliminal Vibes, for giving me the confidence to do this, knowing it wouldn't burn my house down. But that is now... Someone else commented on that video, actually, we need more of these Minidisc head cleaning discs. So that one now is actually one that didn't work before, that does now. Hello, it's me in the editing again, and after shooting a video I realised that we didn't have a look at the brush on the back to find out whether it was still in good condition. So let me just zoom in there. So yeah, it's still in good condition. So it didn't melt or anything. It's quite dusty, that disc, isn't it? But anyway, so that is a proper fix without melting the brush or setting fire to it. And a little while after shooting the video, I found this on eBay, which is actually this disc. So we now know it's one of the Hello brand, the same as the Minidisc cleaner, in other words the cleaner that cleans the actual discs themselves, which wasn't very good. And here's a better look at the packaging back and front of that. Now that's still on sale on eBay as at the 15th of October, which is when I'm doing this final bit of editing. But this video might not go up for about a month anyway, so you might have missed out. But you know what to search for if you want to get one. And don't forget, in a minute or so, there's going to be some squares come up on the screen, and one of them will be a playlist of all of the videos that I've done for Minidisc player and recorder cleaners. And there's also links to those in the description box. So now, back to the last part of the original video. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. So that garbled exclamation. So thank you subliminal. Oh my God. Take 30.